Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from the uptrend.com. In the pre-market this morning, stock index futures are currently mixed at the moment. We've got the Dow higher while the S&P and the Nasdaq are currently trading slightly lower. Commodities are lower this morning, and Bitcoin is down a couple $100. So quite a mixed open in the pre-market. Now, we don't have any major economic numbers coming out this morning. We do have some coming out at 10 a.m. Consumer confidence and the JOLTS job openings report. Both of those could certainly sway the direction of the market once it is open. Now, typically in this presentation, we focus on swing trading and we use the daily right side chart to do that. This morning, we're going to step back and look at longer term money using the daily midterm chart. The midterm chart is not as responsive as the right side chart is. It doesn't keep as close to the money as the right side chart does. And so if you're, not wanting to trade as often, then you would move to this chart. For the most part, this chart is going to be bullish on all the major indices except one major indicator. So when we look at this chart, what we're looking for is a breakout above the tether line gives us a buy signal. A breakdown below the tether line gives us a sell signal. We also have some early warning signals here, and they can be helpful for adding and subtracting from a position. We also have, if we look at the US dollar index, you can see the momentum indicator down at the bottom of the screen, and there's a water line there. The purpose of this presentation is to show you that while we are starting to move up for all the major indices, we have not really broken through the waterline just yet. So there's still more work to do on the upside. And then, of course, we'll talk about all the resistance overhead. So there's the US dollar index. And then below that, we've got the dominant trend indicator, which shows us what even longer term money is doing. Now, looking at the bonds have been moving up over the past couple of weeks. And so, we talked about the fact that foreigners were selling. So it looks like that has stopped for the time being. And bonds are starting to move back up, and bond yields are starting to come back down. And that could certainly continue. Of course, if the stock market starts to head lower, money may come out of the stock market and go back into the bond market, which could cause bonds to move up even faster. Now, when we look at the Dow, yes, we're on a buy signal right now. There's an early warning signal. That's all positive. What we haven't seen yet, of course, is the momentum indicator to break through the water line. That's also true for the S&P 500, the equal weighted, the NASDAQ 100, the equal weighted, the next generation NASDAQ. And then there's the Russell 2000. We're just getting to a buy signal there. Haven't made it just yet. That's also true for the small cap stocks. Micro caps have already done it. Again, no breaking through here for looking at the water line. Still waiting for that to happen. Then, of course, semiconductors are on a buy signal right now. Now, every major U.S. indice looks something like this. First of all, you'll probably notice that the symbol is broken. And so our expectations to the upside need to be rather limited. We are mathematically projecting higher prices up here. The problem right now is you've got open gaps, you've got the moving averages, you've got the flypaper channel, all going to potentially act as resistance on the way back up. And then, of course, we have our mathematical price targets. And you can look two lines up. 218.75 is certainly a legitimate target to the upside if we can get past the open gap that is over here. And this is representative of most of the symbols that we're looking at the moment. Now, looking at the Canadian market did not get hit as hard as the U.S. market on the way down. Yeah, we were down, but not by as much. And if you look at the momentum indicator at the bottom of the screen for the TSX 60 and compare that to the S&P 500, you'll see that there's quite a bit of difference. Then moving on to the Vanguard Canada ETF, we're on a buy signal right now. Again, still waiting for momentum to shift. Then looking at the energy sector, we're stalled here at the moment. Then compare that to financials and the banks, which are moving up nicely. Again, we're waiting for that momentum shift, which happened in the gold sector back in January. And the gold sector has been on quite a nice run over the past couple of months. Then looking at the Infotech, we're back on a buy signal here. Again, waiting for momentum to shift. That is also true for the industrials, for real estate, for telecom stocks, which are still on a sell signal here. We ran up to the tether line and pulled back, so no change in trend for Canadian telecom stocks. Let's finish off with a quick look at Bitcoin. It's on a buy signal right now. So are the major Bitcoin ETFs. And then when we look at the stocks, still waiting for some of them to move, but there's Bitfarms on both sides of the border on a buy signal. We're still waiting for Bit Digital. We're not too far away from generating a buy signal on Tuesday. Then we're on a buy signal for Coinbase. No change there. Galaxy's doing quite nice at the moment. Not a love for Hive at the moment, still trying to break through the 250 level, but we are on a buy signal, unlike Hut 8. Still waiting for that buy signal to happen. Then we've got Mara on a buy signal right now, but seems to be a lot of love for MicroStrategy. That looks like the big winner in this part of the market at the moment. Okay, folks, that is all for today's presentation. Typically, we look for the market to make lows during the middle of the month and highs during the end of the month. And that is what's going on right now. This is the second last day of April. And so to see some buying today and tomorrow and even on May 1st is not that unusual. And then we'll have to get back to our regularly scheduled program after May 1st and see which way the market wants to go next. We're still trading from underneath all the resistance. Yes, we've been able to move up, but we haven't really taken out any major areas of resistance so far. And if we can do that, then, the skies will brighten and the world would be a better place. But right now that hasn't happened yet. So we'll just have to wait and see. Again, futures are mixed this morning, so not looking for a lot to happen at the open. Have a great day. Next time you'll hear my voice is on Wednesday morning.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.